Well, hello everybody, this is Vladimir back again for the Squatting Slav TV channel, and now let's get to the second part of my three-part series about my trip to Paris. The first video was my little stroll through the inner city of Paris. If you haven't seen that video, it's over here and it's very terrifying. The second video coming up now is an interview with Tepa from Tepa TV. Now, Tepa himself is a well-known French YouTuber and social commentator and an interviewer, but little known fact, he was also a very influential hip-hop artist in the 90s. Now, he's going to drop a lot of black pills today in this video, but don't worry, ultimately it's gonna get worse when I get to my third video, a large documentary about Paris and the demographics there, so stay afraid, it's gonna get much worse. Now, this is the shorter version of this interview, it's around a half an hour. The full version is on my channel, that is around 1 hour or something like that. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe right now because there is more to come. See you soon.
Squatting Slav TV.
Well, hey everybody, here's a special interview with a very massive guy here. This guy here is a very well-known YouTuber in France, a political commentator called Tepa. Would you care to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm a French YouTuber. I can define myself like that. My French site is patriote.info, which means, in fact, I'm a patriotic man, you know.
A patriotic black Frenchman.
Yes, absolutely.
You were inevitable. It was not possible to kind of come around you because you're so present, and I wanted to have you for this first interview because it is always a question of identity, you know. For me being as an East European Slav, that is completely cleared out. Who I am, who my people are, and how the situation looks about this, but France is completely confusing for me. I don't understand it really, to be honest, you know, and as far as I'm informed, you are a libertarian, more of a right-wing commentator, if you would say so, right?
Yes.
Especially by you being partly from a migrant family. Your mom is French, your father's...
My father is white and my mother is from Africa.
Alright. How do you view yourself? I mean, you view yourself as a French man.
Yes,
100%.
as a French, because it's a civilian nation, it's a civic nation. That's the country who invents this concept, in fact, of civic nation. So normally, everybody can be French without being white or black. And French, they don't even ask themselves this question about this thing. For them, you can be French if you have the French culture. If you're, it's better to be Catholic or Christian.
Yes.
But in fact, you can be French, even if you're black. Especially French has a long colonial history. So we have some part of French which are not in Europe, especially the French Indies, the Guyana, the New Caledonia, etc. So the French admit the fact that they could have French who are not white. But in 2018, now it's different. All the people come from Africa, but by millions, thousands and thousands people every day. It's incredible because now in Paris, you got some parts you can't find white men, and those people who are coming, they don't want to assimilate themselves. Why they do that? If you come there, you got all black people there. They come from Africa. They don't speak French. So why they're gonna assimilate? They don't assimilate themselves. They begin to hate French people and to say they are proud to their culture and they want to force the people by their culture. And this is a big conflict is to come in France because the people realize the situation. We got 40 years of socialism, I would say, but mental socialism, especially in culture, because those socialists explained us for a long time, yes, it will be a richness, those people who come from abroad, etc.
This is what you call a cultural enrichment, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's why they say, yes, those people people. It's like a greeting for France, you know, that to have people come from Africa, etc. But French realize this is all lies, because the situation is getting worse every day, about attack terrorists, about insecurity, about rape. The white people, they don't react. No, they just go themselves further. Okay, we're gonna move, you know. That's why, in fact, in this type of suburb, it used to have white people there, but now there is no white people anymore, because they just fly away everyone, because they can't live there. Imagine you get a child, he will go to the school, he will be probably with another guy, a white guy, but about 30 pupils, it would be 2 white people for 28 extra European people. It's crazy.
It's very hard, I guess, to imagine this if you're a continental European or if you are Eastern European. I mean, if you're like from Poland or from Czech Republic or even Russian or what, you are going to have some trouble imagining the situation here. I arrived to Paris a few days ago and I was seriously surprised about the demographic structure of Paris, because my impression was you got like 1/3 blacks, 1/3 Arabs and 1/3 white people. Now from these 1/3 white people, the half of them are basically tourists. So that leaves us with a demographic situation that is nothing what I would consider European in the wider sense even. Do you have any statistics on this? Are there any official statistics?
In France, you can't talk about it. You have no statistic about it, and they just lie about it. You have students at the university. They organize meeting where white are prohibited. It's crazy. I tell you, white are prohibited in France. The original people in France, they don't think them as a race. They don't think them as ethnical.
Rather as a nation, like a civil nation.
So a civil nation. Yes, a civil nation. So you come here. If you have grown here, you could be French for French, no problem. Even if your name is not really French, etc., it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But now the situation is different, really different.
Now the white population should be the one to integrate because they are affecting the minority. I mean, obviously you don't have no statistics about.
No,
okay, so that's a bad idea to start off
when
with.
When you see it, you say, where are the whites? They feel guilty for their history. Because we know that France, England, Netherlands, Spain, Portugal, they got colony abroad. And so now they feel guilty because they say, yeah, we colonized the world, oh yeah, slavery. But it's crazy, because slavery, it's only 300 years in the history of Europe. Instead of slavery, it's 1,400 years for Muslim countries. So why do you feel guilty? And moreover, the European country, especially France, they abolished slavery, and they abolish slavery everywhere they go, and they force the Muslim to abolish slavery as well. So why do you feel guilty for that? But if you talk about Islam, you will have problem, of course, because the Muslim in France are a community we don't accept, but it's the same everywhere. We don't accept a criticism of their religion. You can't criticize their religion, especially after each terrorist attack. You have in French words they say pas d'amalgame, which means no, don't confuse. This is not Islam. You don't have to speak about it. And after every terrorist attack, this is the same.
How many cases of terrorist attacks have been in France? Just like 1 month?
In 1 month, in this month, I think 2 or 3. I can't count.
You don't even know.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh, what am I laughing about?
You know, I was speaking with a friend of mine, and I told him, you know, worst thing in this thing of terrorist attack every month, every week, is that you become to be used about it, and it's you know, when you heard, oh, there was a terrorist attack, it doesn't shock you anymore. You say, okay, another one.
Yeah, that pretty much is true. Yes, the threshold is kind of really down.
And in France, in France, it's crazy because there is a terrorist attack they talk about in the mainstream media, but there is some terrorist attack that they don't talk about, and we know this because it's like they hide the real situation. They don't want to the people know what happened really. So that's why they don't accept that someone go to the mainstream media and talk like that and explain to people what happened. There is only one guy in France who speak like that in the mainstream media, but he's hated because he's Jew. His name is Eric Zemmour. He talk about this situation, but even in the right-wing party or in the, as we say, in the dissidents in France, they say no because he's a Jew, he's playing for Israel. In fact, crazy. And this guy is the only guy who speak about this. Is correct that maybe because he's Jews they don't want to kick him out, but in fact he speak about good thing. He speak about the real situation of this country that has been taken over by African, and if tomorrow there is more African than a white original French people, it won't be France anymore. It will be another thing, another country, but it won't be France. You have to be realistic about it. And even if I'm half-blood, white and black, I'm not, I prefer France. I told him, France give me everything, so I defend France. And the fact is that France, originally, it's a white country. It's for me, it's just an evidence, just
yes.
Obvious, just obvious. But even if French history is different from the other European country, because France has a big empire in Africa, in South America, etc. But France has always been like that. Imagine in the 17th century when France was in America, because France was in America before the English. You know that the Indians there, they could become French just if they convert to Catholicism.
Oh, that's a very easy one.
Yes, if they become Catholic, they could be French. And imagine France, when France get there, the action of France there, because not most of the people know that, was to create an Indian nation. And it exists. People of Canada, they know that because in Montreal you can see this. This is the big shout of the Indian nation.
Let us then get to the inevitable point of identity. You said there is two ways to view a French person, ethnically and culturally.
Yeah.
And the French people have obviously made a decision that it should be just a civic nationalist thing.
Yeah.
Now, reality looks like that was not maybe the best idea to have.
Exactly.
Now, if we kind of view it historically, what is your view on that? I mean, because you view yourself as a French because you are part French,
yes.
But I saw that you had on your program here on the podcast also Arabs. I think that they were not even born in France, partially. And
it depends.
but they're still identified as French, which I think is very weird. How do you view that? Do you accept these guys to be French?
But it depends on the guy. In fact, that's a big problem because France invented the nation, the concept of civic nation. But that was in time that the ethnical problem wasn't a problem. But now the ethnical question is a problem. So they have to rethink about it and say, okay, we have to change because the situation changed. And for the French, unfortunately, they don't see that. They just say, no, well, this is the future. Oh yes, especially at the left, like everywhere. And I saw in your video, it was really funny to see all the SGW because we got the same here in France now, and those people are crazy.
Oh yes,
they are really fucked up in their minds. These left wings are really, it's mental disease. It's completely crazy.
What is happening here is going to be possibly the last iteration of something like this because it's well protocoled, it's well documented, so the future generations of any country everywhere are going to have the access to the data. What happens if you kind of mix? If you mix cultures, I mean, it's also a fact of biology that if you have different races, they have different behavioral patterns, and these behavioral patterns, when they compile, then you have something that we call culture, obviously. So this is why you have such distinctive cultures, like let's say the Japanese to the original French or German up to the Nigerian. There are different personality traits, there are different ways to behave, and the people sculpt their culture by that. It is totally natural for Japanese to have a Japanese culture. Now I can just imagine that what the leftist type would say, that you can actually exchange the humans, like you put somebody from Africa to Europe by the act of crossing a border, the humanity is going to evolve magically. So I always have this idea, what would happen if you just, let's say, had such a culture like the Afghan culture, like Afghanistan and Japan, and you just switch the populations all of a sudden. I think in 2 generations, obviously Afghanistan is going to look like Japan, and Japan is going to look like Afghanistan. That is a completely normal process.
That's what happened in Paris. When you go to Stalingrad and you see there is a lot of Somalians there. Now this place look like Mogadishu. I told you. With
the same crime rate, I guess.
Yes, in Paris, and they don't talk about it, but the crime rate is growing up fastly. In the Eastern country, you don't have the same mentality as in the Western country. You have the sense of defend yourself, and not even, I tell you, white people there, they are more viral, they are more, don't fuck with me. In the Western country say, okay, I don't fuck with you. No, it's really different. And I see the white from the Eastern country are really different. They got their cultures, they defend their cultures, they are proud to be themselves, and they don't feel guilty of anything. Why? They are guilty of what? No.
This feeling of guilt, you're referring to that like more than once. So this is like one of the main drivers for everything.
Yes. In France especially, the people are grown up with this guilt. And so they are grown up they learn to hate France. Since the childhood, when you go to the school, you hate France. After you hate France, everything is come from France is bad. God. France is bad. The guy who called me, it was a guy who wrote a book, and in his book he describes this phenomenon. Really, his name is Adrien Abosi. He explained why the France it's against itself. There is two sort of force who fight in France, the France and the anti-France. And anti-France, of course, is winning for a time, but now France, unfortunately, is wake up, and there is some friends who say, no, stop, we have to stop this shit right now, because this is our future, this is our country, we love it, and we don't want to make it in that way, and the left are really, but not only, but they got a real responsibility in that. Real responsibility.
Yes. What is with the white population here that are affluent, who got some cash on the side? Because I can tell you, like what I know from Germany, from Sweden, from even Norway and some other places, people are leaving in droves to the US or to Canada or especially New Zealand or Australia. These are qualified people. These are people with brains, these are people with cash, these are people with connections who for some reason don't see the possibility to reach anything here anymore. I mean, if we kind of go after the intelligence factor, then it's over.
Yes, and there is the same phenomenon in France. They don't talk about it, but most of our elites, they are going abroad. After they study, they just go in the countries you said, in Canada, in US, in Australia, but they don't stay in France, of course. And that's why our social system, which is really generous with the people, because imagine in France,
not even joking, if you have what is it called, autism, you get like up to 800 euros a month for having this condition. Oh my god, I was like thinking to just get some Serbian doctor to give me that paper that I've got the autism to get cash here.
It's crazy,
which I'm totally going to do, by the way.
And imagine for the refugees, that's why the people are going crazy. Refugees will come here. When you go to the Office Français d'Immigration, they say, okay, he just give his name, etc. And at the moment that he give his name, he has an allocation of 500 euros.
A flat, you say, for 500.
Yes, they couldn't find him a flat.
Somewhere.
He has the public transport free. He has all the medical free. Medical, it means that you can go to a doctor, but even if you're hospitalized, even if you are anything, it's free for you. You get a card and it's free. And even if you work, imagine a French worker, you don't have the same right.
That means
you have to pay, for that.
All right, well, that's completely logical. That is a very obvious monetary choice that you are going to do. I mean, that means that being in France kicks ass. I mean, why is it? Let's put it differently. I'm kind of really thinking about this autism thing, because it's could be like easy money. How about this? I arrive to France. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do it, but potentially I could. I'm just gonna come here and say that I am from. It has to be a special country where I come from, right? I can't be from Europe.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to be from Morocco. No, they're speaking French. Something where you don't need to speak French.
It's Ethiopian, Somali. They don't speak French.
All right, okay. So I'm gonna be a white Somali. Good. So I arrive. Then I just have to say that I arrived. I go to the police station or what, and I say like, hey, it's me. My name is something. I don't have an ID on me.
No. Yes, you got nothing.
So I just kind of say some name,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So then I get cash, right? So I get first of all I get a flat. This flat I can rent out over Airbnb, I assume, for much money. That's very good. Then I get like how much? How much money?
500 approximately.
500 per month. Yeah, could be worse. Then I got autism, so that's like 1,300.
Yeah, but for Somalian, it's 5 months of work there. Imagine.
And that means that after that, I got the bank account, all the cash is coming to my bank account. I could take a bus back to Serbia and just get the cash back, right? I mean, does this work? Is this possible?
It's possible. That's what the people from Romania do. Because, people from Romania, we call it Rome here. But in fact, they are not real Romanian. In fact, they are what we call it gypsy. They are more like gypsy. And those people, they come here in France because it's Europe. But France, here it used to have village everywhere from those guys, because you wake up one morning and you got a village, during the night. They should just build it like that. It's crazy. And those guys, France, as a policy, they say, okay, we give you money to get out from France. But it's crazy because we give them money, but 3 months after they get back here and say, okay, give me again the money and I get back to my country. It's crazy.
I see a very big business opportunity here.
Yeah, imagine you're a prisoner, and instead of going to jail, they say we're gonna give you some work to do, and you have to do this instead of going to jail. And do you know what type of work they're gonna give them?
There we go.
To moderate on the web. This means that in France will be moderate by former prisoners who hate us. Most of them are Muslim. We know that because this is the only ethnical statistic we have in the jail.
The religion.
The religion, yes.
But not ethnicity.
Not the ethnical, but we have the religion in the jail. And what we know is that in France there is more than 70% of Muslim people in jail.
Spectacular.
Spectacular. So those people now are gonna moderate the wave. And who's they gonna moderate? They're gonna moderate the nationalists, the patriots, of course.
Let's project like in 5 years' time. What is going to happen, especially in France, in 5 years' time? Let's say, is Marine Le Pen going to have any influence at all?
I don't know if she is going to be the good leader because she failed, in this election, and particularly politically she failed because she didn't talk really about immigration. She's talked about something important for me is to leave out the European Union. I think France has to leave out the European Union, the Brexit. We don't have the choice. Even if we want to solve the migration problem, because now we have to know that as we are in the European Union, you can do what you want with immigration law. We saw it with what happened in Hungary and Poland. They say you have to take migrants, then etc. So European Union is here to organize this invasion. So we have to leave out unions. This is really, really important. But in fact, even if we have that way, we have to leave the union, we have to stop migration. This is the two main points the French policy has to do. We have another case, or two policemen were burned in their car just because, burned in the car because they were in Grigny, in the suburb of Paris. And imagine the situation, it's crazy. The policemen were in the car to watch out a camera, because each time they put the camera is destroyed by the youth. So they have to put some policemen to watch out a simple camera. And the guy, as they are not, happy of this situation, they just came and they burned the car. The two policemen were burned and they didn't use a weapon. And we don't understand why. We say, you got a weapon. But even the cops, they are so afraid to be racist. They say, no, we prefer to be shot than use my weapon. It's crazy. In France, just yesterday, you got 3 militaries in Paris. There was a girl. She was attacked by a migrant. The 3 guys saw that. They came and they beat the guy. Imagine, there was a 4 in prison. The guy will beat the girl and the 3 militaries. Because the judge say, yes, but they don't have to beat the assault. It's crazy. The guy just defended the girl. And now they're in jail. 3 militaries. That's why I told you about the mental disease, that it's crazy, and it's in the justice, in the police, etc. All the time, they say white are the bad guys and the non-white are the good guys. But what is this logic?
There was also an elderly Jewish lady that was like 1 week ago that also got burned.
Yes, in the same week. Yes.
Yeah, no,
she was burned.
This is Paris, the city of love, the city of baguettes, the city of burning people.
For me, I think they have to be conscious of the situation. That's what I do in my work. And my proposal is to stay safe. We have to, what we call it, remigration. Remigration is an inverse movement, and the migration is going back, And for that, I know that the people won't live like that. That's why I'm talking to the nationalists and say, we have to pay for that, even if we have to pay for that. But peaceful is expensive, unfortunately.
Yes, that is true.
And I tell to the nationalists, even if you pay, it's better. If you pay someone to get out, and he won't be able to come back, of course, because you have to close your borders, and it's impossible in European Union, because if you want to do that policy, you have to take some other measures, and you have to take your borders. For example, you have to kick out all the illegal people. If you do that, you have a lot of them that will.
That's work for a generation.
Yes, we need a generation to do that. Maybe a generation to admit the process, but it's possible. It's possible, and most of the French are thinking of that. And I can tell you, the things are going faster now. We know that. For example, me, I was in a political party. We want to be out of the union. It was in 2009. More than 8 years later, the last French president election, they talk about leaving the EU, because just imagine 5 years ago, nobody talk about that. It was a taboo if you talk about that. When you say someone 5 years ago in 2010, you say yes, France has to leave out the European Union. You're crazy? Are you mad? What? But no, it's normal. Everyone talk about it. So it could be the same for immigration. It could be now a subject that are you crazy? It's impossible. But in 5 years, no, it's possible. We can do that, and if we don't do that, I think we're gonna have bad days, really bad days, really bad days.
Yeah.
My situation, it's like a peaceful, in fact, solution. You break with someone, but break in a good way. Okay, we stay friends, we can break. Okay, we don't live anymore. Okay, I can help you to get there. But if we don't do that, we're gonna have bad days, especially in France. It's gonna be the civil war or a bloodbath, some bloodshed, something really bad, for sure.
Yeah, I think that the situation is comparable to that in South Africa, where European whites or the Boer are being executed. It's a terrifying thing. The mainstream media doesn't bring that on at all, especially also in the Western media, especially you are not going to hear anything much about France except there are like 700 cars burning down so in the suburbs. But then again, it's just youth. You know, having fun. I mean, who wasn't burning cars? He was a kid. It's a completely normal thing, isn't it? It's terrifying. It's a preparation for war, and it doesn't look good. Well, you want to show me this place? What is it called again? It's far away from here.
We could go to La Chapelle.
La Chapelle sounds
I
beautiful.
think, yes, La Chapelle sounds beautiful, and I think we'll take some pictures that the world has to see because you never see it on French film media, and you know, I tell you, you have to see that.
This is going to be spectacular. Yeah, we're going to link to your social media profiles down below. Get the word out there, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Mwah!